It is crunch time. One finalist has been found in each of the 3 divisions of the Air New Zealand NPC. In Division 1, it was Auckland. At Pukekohe Stadium today, 2 teams do battle for the right to be at Eden Park next week. It will be Counties or Canterbury. You're watching this exclusively live on Sky Sports. And what a day we're in for. It's good to have you along to Pukekohe Stadium today. I'm Chris O'Malley, and this is the venue for the do-or-die semi-final clash between Counties and Canterbury. I'm absolutely delighted to report to you that, and I have to say a little bit surprised as well, the conditions just couldn't be better for the game. Just a few moments ago, I caught up with the 2 coaches of the 2 sides, Mac McCallion for Counties and Vance Stewart for Canterbury.
Semi-final time, and now we have memories from last year when we played Otago here. Today we host Canterbury, and of course it's an awesome task, a big task. But I believe that that we can do it. We have to shut down Marshall and Mertens. They're going to be problems for us. If we can shut them down, if we can get into the tight 5 and start to try and get a little bit of dominance there, and it's going to take a bit of time, I should imagine. And once we do that, we'd like to get the ball wide to both Joelle and Jonah, and hopefully score some tries from there. But as you can see, it's a perfect day for rugby, and we've got a good crowd here, and it'll be entertaining. And I think the team that really wants it the most, the team that's got the hardened attitude and the mental edge, will take it out.
Yeah, we've had a good few weeks winning most of our matches, and really turned around what was a pretty poor start to the season. We realise we need a huge effort this afternoon. We feel we've got a lot of attacking ability throughout the 15 players, and we have the ability to do the job.
And Vance Stewart will finish as coach at the end of this season. The question now is whether today will be the end of the season, or will they be at Eden Park next week. Let's have a look at the 2 teams' roads to the semi-finals. Counties finished round robin play in 2nd place on the table. They only lost twice, they won 6 times, which is a great season. They racked up 65 of those points 4 in their last match against King Country. They began their season with a win at Lancaster Park against the Red and Blacks before going down against Waikato at home. Spirits were more than lifted by that historic win in the 3rd round against Auckland. After a bye, they went south and dumped on Otago before being brought to earth by high-flying Taranaki. Their last match at home was that win over Wellington. Their opposition today have lost 3 from 8 as opposed to Counties 2. Interestingly enough, they've scored an almost identical number of points as their northern opposition, but a big worry for Counties is the fact that the bulk of those points have come towards the end, or the business part of the season. Allied to that, the Canterbury team taking the field today is a very different one to that which lost to Counties back on August the 18th. At the midway mark of the season, things were looking grim for Canterbury, but they blew off Otago off Lancaster Park and haven't looked back since. They go into this match in winning form. The referee for their semi-final clash with Counties is Glenn Wallstrom of Auckland.
Yeah, looking forward to this afternoon. Obviously today's game is the combination of a great competition from these 2 sides. Who can pick a winger? I can't. I've been asked all week, and I think the matchups today from both sides are such that it's very, very even, and after 80 minutes, who knows? It may be very, very close, or it may be a one-sided affair. I can't tell.
Conditions are fabulous for a game of rugby. If it goes to extra time, there are going to be, dare I say, 31 very tired men out there today.
Yeah, they will be. I've already spoken to Errol Brain, and he's indicated we should play 30-minute halves because of the conditions out there. So yes, it will be very interesting.
This is the Pukekohe Stadium, and this is the semi-final in the Air New Zealand NPC Division 1. One team goes on to the final next week. One team goes home. You're watching this on Sky Sport. A massive crowd have come in. Our commentators for the match, Grant Nisbet, Brent Anderson and Murray Mexted.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. What a beautiful day it is here in Pukekohe for this game. Here's the Canterbury side coming out of their dressing room, and there'll be some tension and nerves here, no doubt. Canterbury were down and out mid-season, but they fought back dramatically and have made the top 4. And here they come down the long tunnel here at Pukekohe to be led out by Todd Blackadder. So there's the Canterbury side onto the stadium. Justin Marshall What a season he's had. And can he carry it into today's game? And of course his combination with Andrew Mertens is important. And now the local heroes.
Led by their inspirational captain, number 8.
Now just listen as Errol Brain brings the counties team onto the field here at Pukekohe. Jonah's back in the county side, and what sort of impact will he have on the game? Well, counties have two obvious strengths. Back on the wing with Joali Vindiri and Jonah Lomu are the most potent finishers in the game. This is a team with strength throughout, a powerful front row, good grafting locks, and a formidable loose forward trio. But it's in the backs the counties shine. The power of Marsh and Laupepe in midfield, and of course Jonah and Joali Vindiri on the wings. Canterbury's key men are undoubtedly Marshall and Mertens. The all-black combination at half-back and first five. The forward pack has really lifted their game in recent weeks. The front row is tough and experienced, and there's real pace in the loose forwards, and Todd Blackadder is the captain. Glenn Wallstrom of Auckland will control the semi-final match. And we're almost set to go here on a beautiful day. No wind to speak of. Underfoot conditions are excellent. Wallstrom signals time on, and away we go with Andrew Mertens kicking, and immediately Jim Coe takes it for counties. And Brent Anderson is with me here, and Brent, this should be a mighty game.
Certainly will be, Grant. Both teams have got everything to play for. Conditions are absolutely perfect, and I expect to see a great game of running rugby. Both teams love scoring tries.
Here's Blair Feeney inside his 22, and towering punt downfield. Daryl Gibson thinks about a quick throw-in. And right over on the far side, and our man on the ground is Murray Mexted, basking in the sun, Murray.
Yes, it's like being at the beach, isn't it? But there's a real atmosphere here, totally different from the feeling at Eden Park yesterday. I guess it's because the bank is so close to the players. But I was just looking at Gibson. He checked out he was going to have a quick throw in there, and then he saw Joali Vindiri, and he decided against it.
So Matt Sexton to the first line out of the game. Tapped by Blackadder to Marshall. Mertens shifting it on to Mayer Hoffler. 5 metres on the Canterbury side of halfway. Blackadder takes it into the setup for Canterbury. Looking very composed. Marshall with the nudge through for Dean Shepherd. He's outside his 22. You almost got away from Paul Abale.
Last going forward, back ball, back scrum. Thank you.
Canterbury ball. There's Scott Robertson, one of 3 very quick loose men in this Canterbury side, Brent.
They have great pace, and something impressed me last week against Waikato was the speed that their loose forwards got to the ball, the whole pack, and just blew in classic Canterbury style that we've all come to expect from the Red and Blacks over many, many years.
Well, they need to be able to get to the ball quickly today, because if I look at the county's loose forward trio, there's some real height there. So they're obviously going to be stronger in the lineouts.
There's going to be a decent battle in the front rows too. Lee Lidgard and Con Barrell. Barrell just smiles at Lidgard. And on the other side, Alpha Leu and Richard Lowe. Canterbury scrum as Surridge holds. Well, it's an old saying in rugby, it's got to be one up front, and it starts in the front row.
There's plenty to play for both front rows. Richard Lowe, he'll really lift himself for a big game. But the county's front row, they won't bow down to him at all.
Marshall waits, delivers to Mertens. Away for Mayer, Hoffler in the gap. Now they've got a chance. Lobs it out for Gibson. Vindiri covering. Support in field. And in the end, it's taken by Dean Shepherd. But a super move by the Canterbury backs early on.
Well, it was the timing of the pass that put him through the hole. Beautiful run by Mayhoffler. Gibson getting a high pass above his head made it very difficult, didn't it, for him to take on Vindiri on the outside.
Was also very good defence, though, from Counties. They were sort of caught a man down, but they just shepherded them towards the touchline and made their tackles when they counted, the cover picking them up on the inside.
Yes, it's the wheels of Vinduri that makes that so easy, doesn't it? He can sort of sit in between the two players. He's got enough gas to do that. And then, if he has to drive the guy towards the touchline.
Well, Lee Lidgard's done the right thing. He's seen that Jim Coe's down, doing his bootlaces up. So he's holding up the play while Jim Coe repairs the boots. That's called teamwork. This match coming to you exclusively live on Sky. There's no score in the second semi-final of the First Division. The winner of this game meets Auckland at Eden Park next Sunday. Todd Blackadder waits. Lancaster goes up high. And there was a knock on in there by Canterbury.
Big test here for the Counties scrum. They're 5 metres off their own goal line, and Richard Lowe and Con Barrell can put all the pressure on the world on them. If Counties hold up in this scrum, they'll go well for the rest of the game.
They've got more boot problems now. Con Barrell is out of it doing his bootlaces up, but there's a terrific crowd up on the main bank.
Buck, does that mean that you favour the Counties front row to have an advantage over the Canterbury front row?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone could ever have an advantage over Richard Lowe. The man has immense strength, and he's got a real desire at the moment too. He'd love to be in the final, and he'll really be working hard.
You should see the look on his face right now.
36 years of age, Richard Lowe. Taken up by Michael Scott. And again down to Gibson. Now he goes. No, he doesn't. Looked as though he once again was going to go with a quick throw. There's Michael Scott, an experienced first-class player, firstly with Auckland, and these days with Counties. No score in the match. We've had 3 minutes so far. Counties with the slight advantage at line-out time with Jim Coe and Gavin Giles, who's a big man too. But it's Matt Sexton to throw, and Giles it was who reached up and grabbed it. Now Lau Pepe for Jonah Lomu. Still on his feet. Finally they get him down. He can't turn though. Now Marshall. Well, it would have been a clever kick because Justin Marshall was aware that Jonah wasn't there, but he just pushed it too hard.
But I wonder whether he should have kicked on that occasion, because it was a surprise that Canterbury actually won that ball. Counties took it in, obviously, and Canterbury won it. Counties' backs were deep. Canterbury perhaps should have moved it.
There's Giles. He's a big man, Gavin Giles. Now Counties get a bit of a roll on. Feeney for Lau Pepe, pops it up for Shepherd. The full-back up in the line. 5 metres in Canterbury territory. Now Feeney. This is Kieran Flynn going back, but the kick's going to go too far. And Flynn can force this, and they'll go back to the 22. Blair Feeney, a converted halfback. He's only played about less than 10 games as a first 5/8, but he's made quite an impact. Andrew Mertens goes with a big one. Dean Shepherd. Trying to push this in behind Paula Barley. Lovely hands. Kieran Flynn tidies up for Canterbury, and they'll go to the lineouts.
Little kicking duel there, and Canterbury coming out on top, having the ball into Counties' half, but didn't the crowd lift behind Jonah on his run earlier? And then when the Counties' backs put it through their back line with a couple of fancy passing moves.
The 3 All Black selectors here this afternoon. Big Steve Lancaster. Behind him is Scott Robertson. It's Andrew Roos, though, for Counties. Giles reaches across again. He's a dominant figure. Tony Marsh can't hang on. Now it's away for Vinduri. Look at the pass. Lobs it forward. Snapped up by Flynn. They could counter-attack here, Canterbury. Now Paula Barley. Taken from behind and a good tackle by Feeney, and he also spills it forwards.
The crowd are going to be in for an absolute treat today if the intention both teams have shown in the first 5 minutes. Here we see Videri down the wing. Hasn't he got great pace? The pass infield just went forward. And then the ball's going to get to Paula Barley and he'll take off on a run.
Here's Shepherd up on the blind side, nudging ahead for Flynn. Banderi's across there. He's a big man, Joeli Banderi. And Kieran Flynn tried to run through him. It didn't work. But yes, blinding pace.
Yes, he is a big man, Banderi. I was just standing next to him right then. He looked like in fact, I was looking up to him, I think, but did he show some gas on the outside? He just seems to be the fastest player around. He just seems to be able to break on the outside. And that's a great thing for a winger to break on the outside, because then it draws the defence across and allows the support to get in behind.
7 minutes gone in the first half. No score, Jim Coe for Counties. Or more correctly these days, Counties Manukau. Now Scott, low to Feeney. Hitting it hard as Pepe. Max. Tackle made by Flynn. Counties went to ground. Oh, there's the danger of George Lau-Pepe. Excellent break. Ora John was there too, but the big run came from George Lau-Pepe, and look at the kick from Mertens.
See here a little backline move from Counties, and Lau-Pepe's just straight through. Great running, looking around for support, as he should, and finds it in the form of Tony Marsh. But one of the Counties Lucy's, I think, is going to dive in here, killing the ball. They must stay on their feet, gave away a penalty, and the disadvantage of playing against Andrew Mertens, you're now 60 yards downfield.
And it's a Canterbury throw. Well, they're all over the place here. They went for a tricky move at the front, and Glenn Wallstrom says, let's start that all over again. So Matt Sexton, whose season was revived somewhat when Mark Hammett was suspended, gets to throw. Lancaster at the back. Blackadder, though, deflects for Marshall. Pops it up for Surridge, the former Auckland player. Ball's been lost forward, and Feeney can tidy it up. One or two problems with ball retention for both teams early in this game. Steve Surridge, first season for Canterbury, and he's made quite an impact too as the number 8 forward. Speaking of an impact, Justin Marshall has been huge in New Zealand rugby this season. There's Surridge getting up high. And I think that was against Apinovo.
There's another lost score in the crowd.
There he is, the Fijian representative, Apinovo. And he got through offside. And here comes the first kicking opportunity in the game. And it's from Andrew Mertens. Not an easy one for him. A kick of about 45 metres first up. Well, Murray, what sort of breeze is there at ground level?
There's no breeze. There's just a big roar coming from behind me of this very, very big crowd on the bank here. Actually, I was wondering about that penalty that was just given. Canterbury had that ball well under control. I would have liked to have seen the referee allow that to go, play the advantage, and then perhaps bring it back to the penalty.
First blood for Canterbury with a Mertens penalty. That'll make Vance Stewart happy. Canterbury lead by 3-0.
Well, if they didn't know before the start, Counties certainly do now. You can't give away penalties in your own half. When you're playing against a quality goal kicker like Andrew Mertens, he's going to penalise you with 3 points every time.
Feeney kicking out. Oh, Lancaster lost it. Counties should be able to make something of this. They've got it under control. It's there for Scott. It's all a bit slow. Canterbury plenty of time to marshal the forces. Lau-Pepe straight to Banderi. Here he goes again. Just got him from behind that time to Daryl Gibson. They're giving Vinderi every opportunity and plenty of room to move. Now it's coming the other way. Jim Coe. 20 metres out from the line. Scott. Now they whip it away for Feeney. Lau Pepe. Solid defence in midfield by Canterbury. Just inside their own 22 now. Marshall. Chance by Roos. Flynn. He'll have to kick it out. And he does.
We see here Jolie Vinderi and his great pace on the outside round Gibson. Gibson does very well to stay with him and just manages to take his ankles out, flicking the ball back in field, but he's just got such tremendous pace on that outside.
Yes, and I think that's got to be part of the game plan, because there was a miss on the centre there to give Vinderi a little bit of space on his opposite, and of course he has got the wheels to just about run around each time.
And the problem Canterbury face is if they start putting defence on Vinderi, it opens up the other side with Jonah.
Big line-out take by Apinovo. 22-metre line Canterbury territory. They lead by 3-0. Glenn Walston wanting the ball freed up. He's got it. Shepherd puts it on the ground. He didn't knock it forward. But there's offside play against Andrew Roos instead. Mertens again, a towering punt downfield. Let's have a look at Andrew Roos here. He's ruled offside.
So he was put in a bit of a disadvantage there by the tackle on his halfback. Michael Scott was sort of taking him back towards the county's goal line, left him in an offside position when he got a hold of the ball.
They're always high-scoring games. For some reason here at Pukekohe, last season the two teams played, it was a 41-39 result in County's favour. Marvellous game it was too. Canterbury forwards rumble on inside the 22. Justin Marshall can see it. Now Mertens for Meyerhoffler. Angus Gardner's in there, but he's thrown it away. For Lau Pepe to Lomu. Gardner makes the tackle on Big Jonah. Now Lau Pepe again. He's a danger man. He's already shown that a couple of times. Scott. Lau Pepe again, Lomu. Errol Brain playing on the wing. He knocked it on. Referee playing an advantage. Well, I think when they shuffled it out, Brent, they thought there was a man with a bit of pace on the wing.
I think they did, but they weren't expecting to see Errol Brain out there, and his hands just let him down as well. He won't be happy with that, as he's put his team under a bit of pressure. Canterbury now have a great opportunity, a scrum on the 22.
Yes, well, I think Errol Brain was looking at that 80 metres to the goal line. He was thinking, that's a long way for me to run. But you're right, I think they thought it was a winger wide. But the Canterbury defence was spreading wide, it was fanning out, it was good. There's a very even contest going on between these two teams at the moment.
Injured man is Matt Sexton. That's part of the massive crowd up on the bank here at Pukekohe. It's almost a picnic atmosphere. It's certainly a lovely day. The temperature must be around about 20 degrees.
They've all come to enjoy the rugby, and at the moment the players are providing the entertainment as they should be.
Canterbury lead by 3 points to 0. They have an attacking option here. Surridge straightening it nicely into midfield. Now it's snapped up by Blackadder, the man who gives this Canterbury forward pack some real steel. One or two Counties players on the wrong side. Now Mertens pops it for Meyerhoffler. Oh, look at the defence, but offside. Marshall grabs it quickly, but Mertens will have a shot here. Todd Blackadder pushed into the locking position this year. I'm not sure that he likes it particularly, but he's such a good player. You can put him pretty much anywhere in the pack.
He really does give them some leadership up front too. He just loves taking the ball up. He only knows one way, that's straight ahead, and he should love playing lock.
I think it's the line-out play that surprised me about his contribution so far. He's actually even calling the line-outs, and he started the game with two-handed takes, whereas Lancaster was sort of fumbling a bit. He's been a great bonus to the Canterbury team in the engine room, basically. That's where he's moved into.
So Canterbury with 2 Mertens penalty goals now, lead nearly halfway through the first half by 6-0.
Andrew Mertens has it again for Canterbury. 2 penalty goals, make it 6-0.
Lancaster waits again. Coe gets up though. Referee playing an advantage. It's going County's way anyway. Feeney for Lau Pepe. Shepherd is in. He'll line up Bindiri.
And look at the crowd. Just look at the crowd. They are delirious with excitement because it was a classic try. Magnificent try. Shepherd just slicing through the gap, and it was a try from the moment he went through the hole with a perfectly timed pass to Bindiri, and no one would have caught him.
See here on the replay, the County's backs, and Shepherd just hit that absolutely perfectly timing. He slows up a bit here to allow Bindiri to catch up. Not that you have to slow up too much. And Jolie in round, and he brings it round behind to put it down behind the post to make the kick virtually a certainty.
So the kick from Blair Feeney is right in front. That's quite a comeback. They were down by those 2 penalties. And there's the danger of that midfield.
The DB draft County Steelers hit the lead for the first time. That conversion to number 10, Blair Feeney.
Well, he's only just back in the County side. They've tried a few fullbacks this year. Peter Alatini, Paul Tom, and they've gone back to Dean Shepherd. And what an impact he had there. Straight through and set up Bindiri for the try. Coe tries to control it. Neither side particularly good at receiving the kickoff so far in this game. Now Marshall up for Surridge, running straight and getting past Feeney. There it is for Marshall. Running smack into Errol Brain. Here's Blackadder, frees it up beautifully for Mertens. They're going to line it. Matson. Tambai Matson, who's been a bit quiet so far. Now it's there for Marshall. It's away for Flynn. Flynn. Overrun by Robertson. Now Marshall. Justin Marshall's in.
Well, what an answer. What an answer by Canterbury. I was just thinking when they went to kick off, I was looking at their faces and I thought, the first try to Counties, first punt to Counties, but by no means is this over. And they just hit back the best possible way with a classic try to equal the try just before by Counties. They said before the game, you've got to stop this halfback combinations of Justin Marshall and Mertens. And they failed to do so on that occasion at their peril.
Well, it's not so easy to stop them from broken play. It's much easier, of course, from set play, but this is where Justin Marshall is very, very dangerous. And he's in for yet another try.
You can't give him a half gap. He just snipes through and he's gone. But it to me goes right back to the kickoff. If you take the kick-off and secure the ball and settle play down, you get yourself out of trouble. Counties didn't. They didn't control it. Canterbury got their hands on it. 7 points was the result.
13 points to 7. 20 minutes gone. The match coming to you exclusively live on Sky. The kick out is made. This time Lancaster gets it. Marshall waiting.